What it do, surprise Shawty crew and my Daizee love. So there's been not even so much a lot going on. It's just been like a lot of like, do you know what to do in this situation? A lot of opportunity. That's been a word that's been highlighted to me a lot lately, but a lot of opportunity to showcase your growth and maturity and wisdom, opportunity to prove to yourself how much you've grown and healed and changed over the years. Like, that's what it has felt like. And so the two biggest things, because it's no surprise to us over here on the channel what the biggest battle has been, what the biggest pain point has been. I've talked about that for years, like bullying, harassment, constant, incessant, every arena, every place, for as long as I can remember. So being able to really like challenge that, but more than just challenge it, like defeat that is like life changing for me. You get what I'm saying? So applause, kudos to y'all if you're experiencing the same thing. I would like to say, one, because this is what's been on my heart like the last 2 days, if you can wholeheartedly, and I feel like I've already shared this lately too, if you can wholeheartedly like conquer that in the family arena, my personal opinion, I feel like it ain't nothing you can't overcome, because it's so tough and hurtful in that arena because of who you are, because of the heart that you have for others, for people, right? Like, that's why that area was so challenging to conquer. And I want to encourage you that you're going to have a beautifully, abundantly blessed family. Like, the family that you create, the family that comes from you, it won't have those curses, those traces of those curses. Those things won't be allowed to linger, because you and your spouse, like, we can get so upset. I've been so upset, like, God, why'd it have to be like this? He really had great for you, grands for you, his best for you, his best for y'all bloodline. He really had that for you. And so y'all have truly defeated those things. So your children won't know certain emotional things and hardships that y'all had to experience, right? Because y'all have healed from that. So you show up as better parents to them, right? Now, that's not to say your kids not gonna go through their own stuff, because they're gonna have to, but they're gonna have that emotional support too, right? Like, they're gonna have all of it. Lastly, on the flip side of things, I think it was always like, you had to know who God was saying you were. You had to know what God was saying about you. Hold on. You're going to keep being controlled and manipulated by the narrative of the enemy, the narrative of others, until you really, really lock in with the narrative of who God says you are. And nobody can really do that for you but you. But I will say, I know the people who have made that easier for me. I know the people who see me how God sees me. I know the people who encourage me and help push me towards that greatness without it being weird. I know the people who haven't came against the narrative, right? That help me see more clearly who he says I am. But at the end of the day, I still had to make the decision to believe that for myself. Okay, and so I feel like that is why a lot of things are changing, because nobody is about to come over here and make me believe, receive no false narrative, okay? And so the things I've been picking up on and even experiencing a lot lately, just like observing, is the projection for real. I think because I'm so locked in with God's narrative now, it's like, why are you coming over here even saying that? That's not even true. I don't behave like that. I didn't do that. Like, you're straight up lying. Like, what? And in a place where you're not going to be angry about it, like, you can still stay calm, right? So it's a lot of projection, and if anybody is projecting, that is how they feel. Like, for a lot of us, you grew up your whole life, folks, just lying. Like, just lying. Like, I have had to dig so deep and like unlearn so many lies. Like, that was never me. That I never did that. But it was always coming from the people who actually were doing whatever it is they were trying to project onto me. Huh? What? So that was one thing. And also confusion. Like, people be confused about their assignment, truly. People be confused about who they are. People be confused about the work. People be confused in the arena. And they will try to Like, what are you even saying? Your words aren't even making sense right now. And so when you're not confused, you're more easily able to pick up on that. But people who are confused will confuse you if you're not locked in with what's going on, if you don't understand what's going on. So now you're, again, more easily deceived. That's just like how the enemy moves. God is not an author of confusion. The devil is confusing, right? So he come up here talking in your ear. Now you gonna be confused because you was listening to him. But you can't be confused if you know what's going on. Okay, so the projection, the confusing, and somebody even said out of their own mouth, like, well, apparently I'm incompetent. I guess so. Like, you are feeling like that. That's why you talking to everybody and trying to make them feel like they're incompetent, because you recognize that in this situation, in this task, in this assignment, you are incompetent. You are. And so something me and my mom was talking, the narcissist really will take. We were talking about how the narcissist will take and say the things that the victims should be saying. Like, there was a situation and I was like, I'm just not going to come. And I wasn't going to come because of how I'm treated, right? Not to manipulate nobody, nothing like that. I'm not going to come because I don't want to come. I don't like how I'm being treated. But the people who are mistreating you, they're the ones that'll be like, well, how about I just don't come? How about you don't? How about you don't? Like, that's what everybody was talking about. The best response when people try to do that, when they say things like that, agree with it. How about you don't? But when I said I'm not going to come, they knew why I wasn't going to come. Because the truth of the matter is, people can act like they don't know what's going on. They don't see what's going on. They do. They do, right? Well, I'm just not going to talk to you anymore. Don't then. That's how you handle that. Don't let nobody manipulate and control your emotions. Now, you will see that in romantic encounters. Thank God for growth, right? But that's not it. You cannot control and manipulate people by threatening to do right. Now, I've also been in situations where I'm not even going to go into all that. I'm not going to go into all that. Just, you got to have discernment to know who's doing it from the right place. Like, who really has the right to set that boundary versus somebody who's trying to set that boundary and they're the problem. So, okay, let me go back to what I was going to say. In a particular relationship, it will always be like, when I would get the silent treatment, it will always be like, I'm trying to protect my peace. Sir, you don't have any peace because you just disrupted and tried to steal the peace that I have. So now that you've done that, now that you've been mean to me, now that you've bullied me, now that you've called me out of my name, now that you've talked to me crazy, you're going to give me the silent treatment because you need to protect your peace. The peace you just stole from me, what peace are you protecting? That's the instance I'm talking about. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm hip on all that. I was telling them that at work, like, no, I've gone through enough. Like, I really do understand these things now. And ain't nobody finna be playing in my face. Ain't nobody finna be gaslighting me. Ain't nobody finna be trying to confuse me with, I can't remember what the therapists call it, but when they do all that with the words and they just be talking, you be like, what? Like, what are you saying right now? That's something that they do. It's just to confuse you. And I'm not going for that. And I'm not taking on nobody's projections. That's how you feel. I don't feel like that. I do not. And nor do I move like that. That's what you do. You're trying to blame me and paint me out to be the villain, when the fact of the matter is, you the villain 24/7. 24/7. Okay? Like, so I hope this helps. I hope this confirms some things maybe y'all are experiencing lately too. But like, either way, God is good. And remember, you weren't going to get to your next. You weren't going to get your breakthrough until you learned how to, like, defeat this. And I'm recognizing he meant in the grand scheme of things. And don't be scared of nobody. Can't nobody whoop you. Who gonna whoop you? Can't nobody whoop you. Okay? You grown. And lastly, y'all know I always say, like, when I was studying up on narcissism and stuff with the therapist online, and they were talking about, like, what type of personalities attract this, Christ-like people who are really like Christ, you attract that. But the breakthrough I'm having in this season is, just because I attract that don't mean I have to be victim to that. Don't mean I have to fall for that. I might attract it. People might think, oh yeah, she okay, you gonna meet your match coming over here. I've defeated that. I've conquered that. I'm going to continue to defeat that and conquer it. That's what I'm saying. Just because the challenge presents itself, that don't mean you can't conquer it. So, yeah, you might be the type that attracts those energy vampires, those blood-sucking, spirit-sucking demons or whatever, right? But that don't mean you got to fall victim to them anymore. That is your choice. It's uncomfortable learning how to stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself after years of trying to and it always being shut down, after years of things always being pointed back to you. It is, y'all, but it's worth the reward on the other side. It's worth the reward standing up to the bullies, no matter who they are, because the ultimate bully is the devil. It's worth that, taking a stand in your own life, showing him who's boss in your life. And last I checked, that was God. And greater is he that is in me than he that is in this world. And that's on period. And so it just takes time. Y'all think about all the content I've made over the years, all the videos I've made over the years, all the crying, all the think about all that. This has took me time, but I'm telling you, it's worth pushing through that uncomfortableness. It's worth truly healing, and it's worth accepting things for what they have been. You really don't want to know. Like, that's really what it comes down to. All the weird stuff, all the harassment, all the bullying, you the one. All the stalking, all the trying to take what's yours, you the one, because you are connected with the one. You have to know that. You have to see that. You got to defend that. You got to protect that. You got to guard that. You got to guard your heart. You got to guard your mind. Okay? Shout out to the girlies who got on for Pink Mondays, because that was right on time. Okay? So I love y'all. I will see y'all in the next few uploads.